Right, welcome. In my previous video, I looked at how to create a Kanban file for a law firm, and we created a Kanban file for Tanaka Law Chambers, which is the name of our law firm, right? Tanaka Chambers. In this video, we want to look at how to customize that Kanban file. We are doing these videos as a support to many accountants right across Zimbabwe for them to know how to use QuickBooks accounting for various businesses. In this video, we're looking at a law firm. Right, you can support our work. We are bringing this free of charge, but you can support our work via subscribing to this YouTube channel, commenting. If you've got any comments, we'll respond, and liking these videos if you find them useful. So, without further ado, we now want to look at how to customize our Kanban file. For you to customize your law firm Kanban file, you have to come here and click on Edit. Right, after clicking on Edit, you go to Preferences. Right, so it will bring up the Preferences window. There are a number of items which are here on this side, and this is what we're going to use to customize our Kanban file for our law firm. So we're going to start with accounting. So we click on accounting. When you click on accounting, then we have to come to this window and click on Kanban Preferences. Right, when you click on Kanban Preferences, there are options which come up. I'm going to be explaining these options so that you understand. All right, this QuickBooks is an accounting system. It uses account numbers or account names. Right, we spoke about a chart of accounts. So here by default, it would say it would tick require accounts. If you don't tick there, it means you won't have a chart of accounts. Right, so you must make sure that there is a tick there on a require accounts. As I said, the system by default, it puts a tick there. If you want to use account numbers, because by default QuickBooks only use character chart of accounts. Character meaning to say the unknown numbers. But if you want what we term a numeric chart of accounts, you have to put a tick there. Numeric, what does it mean? It means you have an account number and you also have an account description. So if you want that, you have to put a tick against use account numbers. You could put a tick there, but there is no need. Then down here, if you want to use what we term class tracking. Class tracking basically allows you to track business transactions, be it expenses, be it sales, against a revenue center or a cost center. Right, so if you want that, you put a tick there. Then of course you also put a tick against the prompt to assign classes. Right, then down here you'd find the system by default it puts ticks on these items. Right, by default, if you want to change anything, you can change. Right, then down here you can set the closing date through which books are closed. If you want to set it, because like in this case it's not set, so if you were to set it, you click on set date and password. So our financial year is running from January to December, so our books will be closed on 31 December. So we have just to select that as our closing date of our financial period. Then we have to put in a password so that nobody changes that without us knowing that it has been changed. So we are putting in a password to control that. Right, and we confirm the password. Once we have done that, we just click on OK. So that is set. So this is our closing date. That is on the accounting button. We have done this customization. We now have to proceed and come to banking. Right, if we click on banking without clicking OK, the system will prompt you made changes in accounting preferences. Do you wish to save them? Yes, we wish to save them. So once we click on yes, we are now taken to the banking tab. Right, here basically QuickBooks allows printing of checks and everything, but we are not going to be doing that because in Zimbabwe at the moment we're not printing checks. So we will just leave the settings which are there as they are, then continue to bills. Right, again to bills, there are preferences which are there. If you want to change, like in this case, bills are due in 10 days after receipt, If this is your setup, you just leave this. If they are due in 7 days, you put 7 days. If they are due in 30 days, you put 30 days. So you put the preference which is appropriate for your business, right? Then if you want to tick automatically use credits, automatically use discounts, you could tick there. But normally we say do not tick. Allow the system to prompt you so that you make a choice, right? Then we go to calendar. Under calendar, there's nothing to be done there. We go to desktop, right? On desktop, there are preferences which are set there. So like in this case, there are ticks there. If you are happy with what is here, you just leave it as it is, right? Then under finance charge, now the finance charge preference, basically it has to do with if you are charging interest on overdue amounts. Let's say you have billed your clients, you have given them days to pay, probably 7 days or 30 days, depending with your credit terms. If they go over those terms that you give them and you charge interest, you set up the finance charge that you charge. So probably let's say you are charging interest at 150. I'm just giving this as an example. Annual rate, right? You put the 150 there. If you want to charge a minimum finance charge, no matter the amount, you could put the amount there, right? Then the grace period that you could give, probably let's say no matter the amount, you charge $10, all right? Then the grace period before probably charging, then let's say probably 5 days. Then of course you need a finance charge account, which will be an income account, right? It will be an income account because you are charging on customers. So you just scroll up, then you click on add new. So it will be other income. So it could be interest on overdue accounts. So these are customer accounts, of course. Probably let me put customer accounts, right? Customer accounts. It's not allowing me, so just say account. So the account name will also be the account description. I'm saying you are only doing this, then you click on save and close. You are only doing this if you charge interest on overdue client accounts. That's when you set up this. If you don't, then there is no need for you to set up this. Then if you want to access finance charges on overdue finance charges, you tick there, but you don't have to. Then if you are happy, we then continue by clicking on general. It will of course prompt us, you made changes in finance charge preference, do you wish to save them? Yes, we want to save, right? Then we go to the general tab. Now on general company preferences, there is nothing that we have to do there. We just have to leave what is set up as it is. Integration applications, again, just leave the preferences which are there. Then we go to items and stock, right? On this company preference window to do with items and stock, we only use it if you are selling like physical products. If you are selling physical products, we could tick there, right? Stock and purchase orders are active, meaning to say we are selling physical products. But in this case, this is a law firm, so basically we don't tick there because we're offering a service. We're not selling physical products, so we don't put a tick there, right? Then we continue to jobs and estimates, right? Again, we just leave as it is. The common preferences which are there, we leave them as they are. Then we go to mount currents, right? Mount currents, you remember when we created in the previous lecture or previous video, when we created our Kanban file, we set up the mount currents and we set up the US dollar as our home currency. You'll find once we select the US dollar as our home currency, we can't select any other currency as the home currency. Of course, we just set up the currencies later on, you'll see. So if we decided that we now want our home currency to be the Zimbabwe dollar, it means we have to create another Kanban file. Right, so we are leaving this as it is. Then we continue with the payments preferences, right? So click on payments, right? On payments preferences, right, you'd find there are the receive payments, and these are all ticked. So you have automatically apply payments is ticked, automatically calculate payments is ticked. Then use undeposited funds as a default deposit to account is also ticked. But here now we ask you to remove this tick. Why? Because by default QuickBooks has got a cashbook account which is termed undeposited funds, right? So what it does, when you process, you see later on in the following videos, when you start processing business transactions for a law firm, you'll see when you process a payment from a client, by default QuickBooks will post that to undeposited funds. Then you have to move the monies from undeposited funds to a particular cash book. That is if you had left the tick there. So for you to select the appropriate cash book into which the amounts are to be deposited, you take off the tick there. What will happen now is when you are processing business transactions, each time you process a payment for a client, the system will prompt you and ask for the cash book to deposit that amount into, which is more appropriate, right? So you just take off the tick there. Then we leave that as it is. Then these are payment reminders. Do you want to send payment reminders? Yes. And everything. So you can leave these defaults as they are on payments. More importantly, just take off the tick there. Once you are happy, you continue to payroll and the employees. It will prompt you to save the changes made in payments preferences, and then you just have to click yes, right? So QuickBooks must close or open windows to change these preferences. We just click on OK. So the system will close and open, and we continue with setting up the preferences. This is a very important step as it allows you to properly set up your Kanban file and work properly. Now we are on payroll and employees. As I said, we are not activating the payroll system on this QuickBooks. Why? Because the preferences which are in the system, they have to do with the UK market and the US market. It's not applicable to Zimbabwe, so we just leave that as it is. Then we go to reminders. Here these are reminders which you can have. You can run them through and change anything that you find appropriate, but in this case we're going to leave it as it is. Then we continue to reports and graphs. But these setups, again, we leave them as they are. There is nothing to change there. Then we go to sales and customers. All right, again we leave all the other preferences as they are. The same happens on search. There is nothing to change there. We just scroll down. Then we go to send forms. All right, on send forms, basically if you want to email from QuickBooks, you can set up for you to email from QuickBooks. So the email templates, they are already there. You just have to look at them. If you want to add another template, you click on add template. All right, probably you designed your own invoice template and you want to edit, you just click on add template. Then here on edit, you are clicking this, and if you want to edit the what is written here, because if you are to send an email, this is the information which will go direct to the client. So if you want to change anything, you change there, then you click on save. Right, we didn't modify, so we're just going to cancel. So basically that is on send forms. Then the service connection, of course it will prompt us to save. You just have to click on yes. Right, on service connection, again we won't do anything. Then on spelling, again we won't do anything. Then on the time and expenses, as I said, this is a law firm, so we do time tracking. We bill customers based on time. So do we want to take time? Yes. So we have ticked this. This is very important. Do you want to put a markup? By default we could put the markup there, but we're not going to put a markup. We'll do that when we'll be accounting later on, when we'll be raising invoices. But what is important is to make sure that this is selected, right? Then we go to VAT, which is value added tax. When we set up, we said no, we don't charge VAT. If you remember, when we set up the Kanban file for our law firm, we said no. But let's say, for example, we charge VAT. we should just select what? Yes. Then it will activate here. Then we have to say which scheme do we have. We have got the standard scheme. We just select standard scheme. Then we have to put in the registration date, the date that we were registered for VAT. Then of course we must put a tick, use customer VAT codes for customer, use supply VAT for suppliers, allow VAT inclusive into gross prices and costs, right? Then assign codes. Taxable items, we have this code tax. Then non-taxable, we have that code non-taxable. Then down here you've got customer suppliers default VAT codes, country area. For customers, you could now select if you are charging VAT on all customers, you just select that as the default. Suppliers, you would actually select that as well as the default. Then you are done. So basically that's how you set up preferences for your clients. You then click OK. Right. So we have set up the Kanban preferences for our Kanban file. We've customized it, and when you start capturing transaction, you would see now it will be easier to work with. Thank you. As I said, support our work by subscribing to our channel, putting up comments, and liking our videos on this YouTube channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.